The invocation this morning is from Jessica Purple Rodela, a UU minister in Canada. She writes, "Listen, listen to silence. Listen to the wind. Listen to the stars. Hear trees. Dance. Dance to the beat of your neighbor's heart. Dance to the rhythm of your childhood dreams. Sing. Sing and hum a wordless song to the tune of your rushing blood. And pray. Pray with a fervor that makes you sweat through February snow. Pray with a fervor that gives you chills in July. Shout your prayer like a howl. Howl till the sound of your soul touches clouds and haunts the moon. Come, let us howl our hallelujahs. Come, let us pray and sing and celebrate. Come, let us worship together." And now, join us right where you are at home in singing Mother Spirit, Father Spirit.
Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, where are you? In the sky song, in the forest sounds your cry. What to give you, what to call you, what am I? Many drops are in the ocean deep and wide. Sunlight bounces off the ripples to the sky. What to give you, what to call you, who am I am empty, time flies from me, what is time? Dreams eternal, fears infernal haunt my heart. What to give you, what to call you, oh my God. Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, take our hearts. Take our breath and let our voices sing our bonds. Take our hands and let us work to shape our art.
Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge. We have made it through another Christmas in pandemic times, but you did it. You made it. I am Leslie Runnels, your intern minister. Happy to be with you here today, along with Kathy Smith, our director of family ministries, Nick White, who is giving Lee Hartman a well-deserved break, and Ed Benoit helping with all things tech. Just a few reminders about how we're doing service during this time when we have a surge in cases. So 9 a.m.s are going to be online only. That's why you're joining us online. And we will still have middle hour from 10:15 to 11:15, so feel free to come. And then our service for 11:30 will be outside in the pods that we've created, and we did it for Christmas Eve, and it worked out really well, so we hope to see you outside. We also want to wish a happy Kwanzaa to those of you who celebrate. Today is the first day of Kwanzaa, and we're going to hear a little bit more about Kwanzaa from some of our members a little bit later. So welcome to service.
I'd like to invite you to join me, if you would, in a body prayer. It's a way of centering, a way of calming. I will go through it several times with the spoken words, and then we will do it wordlessly 3 times. May this worship slow us down, give us rest, and help us grow. May this worship slow us down, give us rest, and help us grow. May this worship slow us down, give us rest, and help us grow. Thank you.
The 7 principles of Kwanzaa are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Perhaps no person personified all of these principles more than the late Bell Hooks, who recently passed away. So in honor of Bell Hooks and in celebration of Kwanzaa, I want to share some quotes that not only capture what we believe as Unitarians, but also the spirit of Kwanzaa. The first quote comes from Outlaw Culture, Resisting Representations in 1994. Bell Hooks wrote, "The moment we choose to love, we begin to move against domination, against oppression. The moment we choose to love, we begin to move towards freedom, to act in ways that liberate ourselves and others."
The story told of America is generally a white European one. As a child, it was left up to my family and the community that shaped and nurtured me to teach me about my legacy, the story I was enacting, the giant shoulders of my ancestors on which I stand. The 7 principles of Kwanzaa, which is celebrated during the 7 days between Christmas and the New Year, are unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. While we reflect on what came before us and we speak the names of our ancestors, Kwanzaa is more than just a celebration of Black history. It's an imagining of a Black future and the possibilities that lay before us as we enter into a new year. We will not let the dominant culture define who we are or tell our story for us or place limits on the heights of our potentials, because those heights are limitless, boundless, infinite. On this day, I want us to imagine an America where all stories are told and legacy celebrated. An America that celebrates the boundless possibilities of all her peoples so that together we can reach our full potential. Happy Kwanzaa, y'all. Ashe.
What we do is more important than what we say or what we believe. Love is a combination of care, commitment, knowledge, responsibility, respect, and trust. And finally, genuine love is rarely an emotional space where needs are instantly gratified. To know love, we have to invest time and commitment. Dreaming that love will save us, solve all our problems, or provide a steady state of bliss or security only keeps us stuck in wishful fantasy, undermining the real power of the love, which is to transform us. Many people want love to function like a drug, giving them an immediate and sustained high. They want nothing, just passively receive the good feeling. Happy Kwanzaa.
We will now begin to place stones. So those of you at home, please enter an asterisk, and we will place stones for you. We place stones to hold anybody that needs to be held a little more closely right now, or maybe it's something that has your heart all excited that you would want to place a stone for. And we do have a little bit of sad news that Jackie Blaney's sister died earlier this week, so we will place a stone for them and sending Jackie and her family deep love. We now light our chalice. Please join us in the chalice lighting words. With hope to build a better world, we light this flame. Its light is a symbol of the power of love.
From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land, by every tongue.
From Burton D. Carley. I wonder if the river ever despairs of its downward destiny and harbors a secret desire to flow uphill. I wonder if winter yearns to be summer, or if a flower wishes it could bloom out of season. I wonder if silence would like to shout, or if the sky wants to fall down and become the earth. I wonder if the bird longs to become a rabbit, or if the fish ever dreams of walking on land. I wonder if the mountains envy the valleys, or if snow secretly covets the warmth of June. I wonder if the moon complains that it is not the sun, or if the stars envy the earth. I wonder if rain prefers a cloudless sky, if grass tires of green and hopes for blue. I wonder if spring really likes growing, or if fall rages against its colorful dying. I wonder if the world ever sighs for more than it is, like you and I, like you and I. Spirit of life, we so struggle against our limitations. Teach us to accept them. Amen.
When Kathy and I were planning this worship service a few weeks ago, we were thinking about where you might be today, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, energetically. And we landed on the idea that most of you are going to be pretty tired from either a lot of fun and merriment, or perhaps managing your complicated emotions around this time of year. And of course, there's the stupid pandemic that's adding more stress. So Kathy and I thought about what we wanted for you, and we wanted to give you some comfort, some relaxation, maybe some winter hibernation energy, a moment to lay down the heavy stuff, and a moment to lift up the dreaminess with some wishes. and a chance to be quiet. Pa says you have to be quiet. That will make sense later. I told Kathy, I don't want them to have to work too hard. I want to give them something. I want them to know that they are loved and that they are going to be okay. So we are going light on intellectual content today, and we're going to drop down a bit into some embodiment work. And I hope you find it healing. And we're going to begin right here where we are on the day after Christmas with our waning excitement and full-on exhaustion, feeling that slowing down from running on adrenaline to this moment to just breathe. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths together to release anything we may be holding on too tightly right now. And while your eyes are still closed, let's take a moment to relive some of the beauty we have seen over the last few weeks. Perhaps you were here for the Christmas pageant and got to enjoy the costumes and the story. And then we had that beautiful solstice service where we lit the sanctuary with our candles circled around the chalice. How warm and lovely that was. Maybe you were in one of the 3 Christmas Eve services that we had, where again, we passed the candlelight from one person to another, from one outdoor pod to another, singing and listening to the carols. Such delicious moments. Maybe you have some other beautiful moments you want to savor. Let's hold on to them for another moment of silence. You can open your eyes now, and thank you for filling this sanctuary virtually and filling your homes with these sweet memories. And we know that we also have some hard moments over the last few weeks too, perhaps challenging family dynamics or having to cancel travel plans at the last minute because of the virus surge meant you didn't get to be with the ones you wanted to be with. Maybe this year just went too fast, or maybe just too darn slow. Maybe you weren't able to afford what you wanted to do this season. Maybe you lost your temper with someone, or maybe someone lost their temper with you. Or maybe you just felt too damn sad. We hold all of these emotions at this time of year, in this pandemic year. We hold them in a balance. We hold on to the sweet memories so that we can bear the harder emotions and memories. But this season is ending, this year is ending, and a new year is just 5 more days away. So we need to prepare for this new year. We need to put down some of that hard stuff so that we can carry the sweetness into the new year, that we can face and embrace whatever 2022 shows us. To do that, we are going to do a howl. A howl where we get to howl about our sweet memories and howl about our difficult ones. We are going to play a 2-minute video of 3 wolves who get called into a howl by their neighboring wolves. And we want you to howl right along with them. When you are ready. In the video, notice that the howling starts with wolves in the area, and that our 3 wolves just open their mouths a little at the beginning, trying to figure out if they're really going to commit to the howl or not. This might be you too. That's okay. If it feels good to howl, howl. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Just enjoy the sound of one of nature's howls. And maybe your own wolves, dogs, will howl in too. Notice also towards the end of the video that our 3 wolves stop howling, but you can still hear other wolves in the area holding on to the howl. So come, let us howl our hallelujahs.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return to who you are. Return to what you are. Return to where you are, born and reborn again. Return again. Return again. Return to the home of your soul. If you would join me in a moment of prayer and meditation, reaching out to that which is deepest inside you and that which surrounds us all. In this place where so many find a place where their soul calls home, today we invite in the spirits of compassion and love. Help us remember that no one howl, no one set of words is sufficient to purge grief, anger, despair, or to adequately articulate our jubilation and our joy. In this moment of quiet, may we hear the echoes of all that we have howled all that we have said, all the reverberations in the air. May those who seek peace find a moment of surcease here. May those who seek community find voices that care and ears that listen. May we all find ourselves surrounded by the feeling, the spirit of compassion and love. Let us breathe in peace and breathe out love. So may it be for us all.
It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind. The trees stood still as giant statues, and the moon was so bright the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. I can hear it through the woolen cap Pa had pulled down over my ears. A farm dog answered the train, and then a second dog joined in. They sang out, trains and dogs, for a real long time. And when their voices faded away, it was as quiet as a dream. We walked on towards the woods, Pa and I. Our feet crunched over the crisp snow, and little gray footprints followed us. Pa made a long shadow, but mine was short and round. I had to run after him every now and then to keep up, and my short, round shadow bumped after me. But I never called out. If you go owling, you have to be quiet. That's what Pa always says. I have been waiting to go owling with Pa for a long, long time. We reached the line of pine trees, black and pointy against the sky, and Pa held up his hand. I stood right where I was and waited. He looked up, as if searching the stars, as if reading a map up there. The moon made his face into a silver mask. Then he called, "Woo, woo, 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 woo," the sound of a great horned owl. "Woo, woo, 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 woo." Again he called out, and then again after each call he was silent, and for a moment we both listened. But there was no answer. Pa shrugged and I shrugged. I was not disappointed. My brothers all said sometimes there's an owl and sometimes there isn't. We walked on. I could feel the cold as if someone's icy hand was palmed down on my back. And my nose and the tops of my cheeks felt cold and hot at the same time. But I never said a word. If you go owling, you have to be quiet and make your own heat. We went into the woods. The shadows were the blackest things I had ever seen. They stained the white snow. My mouth felt furry, for the scarf over it was wet and warm. I didn't ask what kinds of things hide behind black trees in the middle of the night. When you go owling, you have to be brave. Then we came to a clearing in the dark woods. The moon was high above us. It seemed to fit exactly over the center of the clearing, and the snow below it was whiter than the milk in a cereal bowl. I sighed, and Pa held up his hand at the sound. I put my mittens over the scarf over my mouth and listened hard. And then Pa called, "Woo, woo, 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 woo." I listened and looked so hard my ears hurt and my eyes got cloudy with the cold. Pa raised his face to call out again, but before he could open his mouth, an echo came threading its way through the trees. Pa almost smiled, then he called back, "Woo, woo, 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 woo," just as if he and the owl were talking about supper or about the woods or the moon or the cold. I took my mitten off the scarf off my mouth, and I almost smiled too. The owl's call came closer, from high up in the trees on the edge of the meadow. Nothing in the meadow moved. All of a sudden, an owl shadow, part of the big tree shadow, lifted off and flew right over us. We watched silently with heat in our mouths, the heat of all those words we had not spoken. The shadow hooted again. Pa turned on his big flashlight and caught the owl just as it was landing on a branch. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, maybe even 100 minutes, we stared at one another. Then the owl pumped its great wings and lifted off the branch like a shadow without sound. It flew back into the forest. "Time to go home," Pa said to me. I knew then I could talk. I could even laugh out loud. But I was a shadow as we walked home. When you go owling, you don't need words or warm or anything but hope. That's what Pa says. The kind of hope that flies on silent wings under a shining owl moon.
I'm going to acknowledge that that was one of my books that I used to read with my children, and of course, my children grew up where there was snow. And knowing that here in southern Louisiana, a story about snow might feel a little bit unusual. or out of place or not. It's that sense of mystery and awe. It's here. It's here in the mists and the fog. It's here in the animals that we see outside. Some things are universal, even when the pictures are a foreign landscape. And so here we are at the end of another year, almost. So in our family, this time between Christmas and New Year's has always been a time, a break, a slowdown, a time to take a deep breath. We're almost through with all the lists of celebrations and rituals and things that must be done, getting ready for a new round of normal. But there's a gift in this liminal time in between. It is the gift that you might find in an owl moon, a chance to slow down and be quiet. And sometimes that quiet and slowness offers an opportunity for us to contemplate what we might wish or hope or pray for to happen when life starts up again in January. What is the purpose of a wish or a hope or a dream or a prayer? It's not like it's magic. Just because you make a wish doesn't mean it's going to come true. In fact, often it doesn't. Some things can't be wished away. Some things can't be brought about by an individual effort or by human power, no matter how hard we wish for them. And things that lie in the future, the sorts of things that we might wish or hope or dream or pray about, those things are by definition in the future and unknowable. So what is the purpose of a wish? Well, I think it is this, that to articulate the words gives them shape and gives them form. It allows us to gather support from the people in our lives so that they know what we are asking for and we know what we need from our community. Articulating the hope means simultaneously letting go of the words that are running around in our heads and keeping them in mind, keeping in mind the world, the thing, the hope that you wish is going to happen. Remember, to talk with the owl, you have to be quiet, to hold the heat of your words in your mouth, to search the forest and the stars for the outlines of owls. Be brave with the unknown, and even after all of that, sometimes owls happen, and sometimes they don't. In this moment, we're going to ask you to take a quiet minute to dream of the world as it might be, as elusive as an owl on a winter's night, and as possible as the moment the owl lands silently in front of you. What would you dream about as the home of your soul? What would you dream about that would bring about more peace, more love, more justice into this world? What kind of days would you like to see in 2022? What prayer would you have for the future you? I'm going to ask Nick to play quietly while we dream together. And now, Leslie and I are going to symbolically and literally lift these wishes into the air. We're going to take our wish paper, crumple it up, and flatten it out. Roll it into a tube. and let it lift into the air. And we will do this another 4 times to let our wishes fly. Our blessings on these symbolic wishes and on all of our longings and dreams. May our hearts lift right along with these little paper wishes, and so may it be.
And now is the time when we get to give our wishes some feet. We're going to collect the offering. This month is for Assisi House, where we share our offering with them. So we invite you to dig deep into your hearts and give generously from your pockets. We receive your offering with deep gratitude.
And so, my friends, we have howled, we have wished, we have rested. Now, let us sing as we prepare to go back out into the world. Sing at home if you will. Come sing a song with me.
Come sing a song with me.
abundant love surround you. May extravagant grace sustain you. And may the constant presence of Spirit inspire and encourage you through the week. Go now in peace and love.